Are you extremely frugal? Do you need to be? Extreme frugality has its pros and cons, and it is not for everyone. What is extreme frugality living? Extreme thriftiness isn't something that can be easily defined. Someone else's practical, money-saving lifestyle is another person's extreme means of saving money. However, in general, the majority of extreme frugality cases involve drastic measures to save money that most individuals are hesitant to take. That being said, everyone has a moment at which they will no longer practice financial restraint. This is their breaking point. A person might live a very frugal lifestyle in certain parts of their life to save money while being more lavish with their spending in others. Number 1. Unplug everything. Unplugging any household appliances not in use at the time is another drastic energy-saving step you can implement. This is one of the most effective money-saving tips because even if plugged in but switched off devices only use a tiny amount of energy, every little bit helps. Top energy consumers include appliances that don't need to be plugged in while not in use, such as microwaves, toaster ovens, televisions, laptops, printers, game consoles, stereos, electric toothbrushes, night lights, power strips, chargers, clocks, and even lamps. Number 2. Shut doors and vents. The cost of heating and cooling a property is high. Nevertheless, it will be less expensive if you only heat and cool the spaces that are actually occupied. Close the vents and doors to the den that is rarely used and the spare bedroom, and your energy costs should go down. To go to the extreme, segregate a portion of your house and downsize your living quarters. Before we get into the third one, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you find it educational so far. Number 3. Negotiate your bills. One of the extreme frugality techniques that just makes sense is reviewing and haggling utility bills. In fact, I suggest making it one of your yearly financial resolutions. Some consumers seldom even glance at their invoices any longer because of online billing and autopay. And sellers could unintentionally raise their prices or overcharge for services that aren't even utilized. Examine your bills for additional costs, unexplained fees, and hikes every 6 months or at least once a year. Then, talk with your provider about how to reduce your monthly bill. Number 4. Stretch liquid hand soap. When a bottle of liquid hand soap runs out and can no longer be pumped out, I have always been a fan of adding a little water to the bottle. I want to make the most of it. To live really frugal, I advise cutting the soap with water right away. Simply put, when you refill your soap bottle, add 50% soap and 50% water. This schmuck technique works for shampoo and dish soap as well. In fact, buying a foaming dispenser for your hand soap, dish soap, and shampoo is one of the more uncommon inexpensive recommendations. You can dilute with 1 part product and 3 parts water when using a foaming bottle. Number 5. Kick the coffee habit. Anyone giving money-saving advice will advise you to cease purchasing expensive coffee from coffee shops. However, for this extreme frugality suggestion, I advise quitting coffee altogether. Even at the supermarket, coffee is costly. Tea, juice, and soda pop are also. You shouldn't include any of these on your cheap grocery list. Avoiding all coffee, soda, tea, and juice in favor of plain tap water is one of the best extreme budgeting suggestions. Number 6. Become your own chef. Eating out at a restaurant, or even fast food, is an absolute luxury. Extremely frugal people cook all their meals themselves. This means stop eating out and eat food you prepare at home from the grocery store. Number 7. Cut your own hair. Get radical and cut your own hair if extreme inexpensive living is your goal. Salons are pricey, and even inexpensive haircuts add up. You can train to be your own barber with some nice scissors and some guidance from YouTube. Additionally, styling and coloring your hair can be very expensive. Go natural and let go of the notion that your hair needs to be styled and dyed. In the same vein, resolve to take care of your own nails instead of going to the spa. Giving up getting pedicures was one of the difficult choices I had to make when I was changing my relationship with money. In retrospect, it was an eminently clear approach to save money. Number 8. Shop secondhand. A good way to become extremely thrifty is to start shopping at thrift stores, garage sales, and estate sales. You can score practically new items for a fraction of the price you would pay in the store. In fact, shopping secondhand is one of my top tips for frugal fashion. To really practice extreme frugality, however, it is best to stay out of stores. If you aren't in a place where you can spend money, then you won't spend money. Number 9. Reuse, recycle, upcycle. Reusing and upcycling products are 2 excellent examples of extreme frugalness. Plastic baggies with a lid can be washed and reused. For the subsequent casserole, keep the foil from the first one. Keep plastic yogurt containers and glass jelly jars on hand for keeping additional food. Use the clean cottage cheese jar as a planter for your domestic herbs. You should be aware that this is one of the areas where someone can become overly frugal and develop hoarding tendencies. It's a good idea to keep things you'll use later but toss them out if you're not going to utilize them. Number 10. Try a no-buy month. Spending no money for a month is one of the most drastic ways to save money. If that seems excessively extreme, begin with a weekend or 1 week. Since there are no strict guidelines for no-spend challenges, you can choose what would be permitted, like weekly fresh produce or gas for your car. The goal is to put yourself to the test and highlight your spending. Additionally, it allows you time to think about a potential purchase and determine whether you actually need it if something comes up that you really want to buy. Number 11. Borrow, barter, or get for free. My two favorite extreme money-saving strategies are borrowing and bartering. Too frequently, when we need something, we simply buy it. However, why not ask your neighbor if you can borrow his drill rather than purchasing a new one? Also, think about the abilities you might be able to trade with friends, relatives, and acquaintances. Swap childcare responsibilities with a family member, or prepare a monthly lunch for the neighbor who cuts your lawn. Obtaining goods for nothing is yet another incredibly frugal technique to save money. Use Facebook Marketplace and Neighborhood Buy Nothing groups as resources to snag free things. Perhaps take things a step further and go dumpster diving to look for abandoned, but still useful, stuff. Number 12. Eliminate expensive entertainment. Eliminating entertainment spending is one of the best strategies to save money. Living on a strict budget is not something I recommend because amusement doesn't have to be expensive. There are many ways to amuse oneself for no cost, like going to public parks, engaging in DIY projects as cheap hobbies, and having date night at home.